Welcome back to my channel Pocket Change Coins. If you're holding on to a few old coins, this might be the moment you've been waiting for. First, we're diving deep into a very special coin that has taken the numismatic world by surprise, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but could secretly be worth a life-changing amount of money. We're talking about the Oklahoma State Quarter, minted in 2008 with the letter P indicating it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, you might be thinking, I've seen these quarters all the time, what's so special about this one? Well, stick around because the story behind this coin, its symbolism, and most importantly, its hidden value might just blow your mind. Let's begin by setting the stage. The United States Mint began the 50-state quarters program in 1999, releasing 5 new quarters each year to honor every state in the Union. The program was a huge success, not just for educating Americans about state history, but also for getting a whole new generation interested in coin collecting. Each design was unique, capturing the spirit and pride of the state it represented. In 2008, one of the final coins in the series was released, the Oklahoma Quarter. While all the state quarters have their own charm, the Oklahoma Quarter stands out for more than just its beauty. It represents the 46th state admitted to the Union, which joined in 1907. But it wasn't just a tribute to the state's history. It became an accidental icon of rarity, beauty, and, yes, value. Take a close look at the design of this coin. The reverse side features the majestic scissor-tailed flycatcher in mid-flight, its long tail feathers flowing behind it as it glides across a field of wild Indian blanket flowers. It's not only stunning, it's symbolic. The bird is Oklahoma's state bird, and the flowers are the official state wildflower. Together, they capture the natural beauty, freedom, and pride of the Sooner State. The obverse, like all state quarters, features the familiar portrait of George Washington, an image we see every day, but one that still holds weight and dignity as a symbol of American history. But beyond the artistic design and state pride, what makes the Oklahoma Quarter so intriguing to collectors isn't just how it looks, it's what lies beneath the surface. You see, while millions of these coins were produced, only a few have something very special going on. Some rare versions of the 2008 Oklahoma Quarter from the Philadelphia Mint have unique minting errors or were struck in extremely limited batches that have made them incredibly hard to find. These rare variants might have double dies, misalignments, off-center strikes, or even subtle differences in the feather details of the bird that escaped the eyes of quality control. And here's the exciting part. Coin collectors and dealers are constantly on the hunt for these error coins, willing to pay a premium for them. And if your coin happens to be in uncirculated, pristine condition, that's where things really start to get interesting. Imagine finding a coin in your collection that's been sitting in a drawer for years, one that you thought was just pocket change, and learning that it could be worth more than a brand new car. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this isn't just wishful thinking. It's happened before. A small handful of collectors have already discovered that certain Oklahoma quarters, especially those with verified mint errors or that are graded at the highest levels by coin grading agencies, can be sold at auctions for tens of thousands of dollars. Now, here's where your jaw might drop. Because one particular Oklahoma Quarter from 2008, minted in Philadelphia, in nearly perfect uncirculated condition and with a rare error, has been valued by collectors and dealers at a jaw-dropping $45,000. Yes, you heard that right. $45,000 for a single quarter. So if you've got a jar of old change sitting around or a childhood coin collection gathering dust, now is the time to start looking. Pay close attention to those Oklahoma quarters, especially the ones from 2008 with the P mint mark. Check their condition, look for unusual features, and if you think you've got something special, it might be worth getting it professionally graded. Second rare coin, we're talking about a coin that may have passed through your hands at some point, without you ever realizing how special it truly is. It's a quarter, a common piece of American currency, but this one is far from ordinary. It's the Louisiana State Quarter from the year 2002, minted in Philadelphia and marked with a little P. But don't let its simple appearance fool you. This quarter has a story, a legacy, and in some extremely rare cases, a value that can truly take your breath away. Now, take a moment and imagine digging through an old coin jar or flipping through a collection you started years ago. You pick out a few state quarters, and there it is, a coin honoring Louisiana, the Pelican State. It might seem like just another piece in the 50 state quarters collection, but what if I told you that this exact coin could be worth more than most people's annual salary? Before we dive into the incredible value, let's explore what makes this coin stand out, and why collectors are going crazy over it. The Louisiana State Quarter was released in 2002 as part of the U.S. Mint's wildly popular 50 State Quarters program. This initiative started in 1999 and ran until 2008, releasing 5 new designs each year to honor each state in the order they joined the Union. Louisiana, which became the 18th state in 1812, got its moment in the spotlight with a design that's as meaningful as it is beautiful. The reverse side of the coin captures the heart and soul of Louisiana's culture and contribution to American history. You'll see an outline of the state itself, the words Louisiana Purchase, and a historic image of the pelican, the state bird, and a trumpet with musical notes, symbolizing the state's rich jazz heritage. But perhaps the most powerful part of this design is the map of the 1803 Louisiana Purchase. This bold land deal with France doubled the size of the United States, and Louisiana was the literal gateway to that expansion. Every detail of the coin is a tribute to Louisiana's identity, its music, its natural beauty, its pivotal role in American growth. But while the design is impressive, what has collectors buzzing is what lies beneath the surface. Let's talk about the coin's mint mark, the small letter P located just under the word Liberty on the obverse side of the coin. That P indicates the coin was minted in Philadelphia. Now, millions of Louisiana quarters were produced there in 2002, so you might be asking, what makes one of them so valuable? Well, here's the twist. While the vast majority of these coins are just regular quarters, a tiny number of them have minting errors or production anomalies that make them incredibly rare. We're talking about double die obverse, off-center strikes, die cracks, and even planchet issues, where the metal blank used to make the coin had flaws before it was even stamped. These imperfections might not be visible to the casual eye, but for collectors? They're gold. Some of the rarest Louisiana quarters have been discovered in nearly perfect, uncirculated condition with certified grading from top coin evaluation services. Coins that score a MS 68 or higher on the grading scale are incredibly rare, and incredibly valuable. But when you combine that top-tier condition with a verified minting error, that's when things get exciting. The combination of historical significance, beautiful design, and minting rarity has elevated the Louisiana State Quarter from a pocket change curiosity to a collector's dream. And here's where it gets even more thrilling, because in the world of numismatics, lightning can strike. In one confirmed case, a Louisiana quarter from 2002, bearing the P mint mark, with an ultra-rare minting error and in flawless condition, was valued at an unbelievable price. Are you ready for this? One of these rare Louisiana quarters was recently valued by top experts at a staggering $80,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single quarter. Worth $80,000. So before you toss your change into a vending machine or let your coin collection gather dust in a drawer, take a closer look. That little piece of metal in your hand could be hiding a piece of American history, and a serious fortune. Third expensive coin, we're talking about a coin that you may have already handled without realizing its true potential. It's one of the first coins released as part of the iconic 50 State Quarters program, the New Jersey State Quarter, dated 1999 with the Denver Mint D mark. It may seem like an everyday coin, but there's far more to this one than meets the EYE. At first glance, this coin looks like just another piece of everyday currency. But for collectors in the know, it represents history, symbolism, and, if you're very lucky, a path to a small fortune. So let's go back for a moment to the beginning of something truly monumental in U.S. numismatic history. The year was 1999. The U.S. Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program, an ambitious, beautifully designed series that would roll out 5 new quarters every year, each representing one of the states in the order they entered the Union. New Jersey was the third quarter released in that very first year of the program. But unlike many others in the series, the New Jersey design taps into a deep, revolutionary past that helped define the future of a nation. the reverse side of the coin features a powerful and historic image, George Washington crossing the Delaware River. Based on the famous painting by Emanuel Leutze, this moment captures Washington leading his troops through icy waters during the American Revolution. It's a symbol of courage, strategy, and relentless determination. Above the image, the coin reads, "Crossroads of the Revolution," which couldn't be more accurate. New Jersey played a critical role in the Revolutionary War, and this coin commemorates that legacy in stunning detail. Now, on the obverse side, as with all state quarters, we see the familiar face of George Washington. But if you look just below the motto, "In God We Trust," you'll spot the all-important D mint mark, indicating that this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint. So far, this all sounds like a beautiful, historic quarter, great for any collection. But why, out of all the millions of New Jersey quarters out there, are some being hunted down by collectors with unmatched enthusiasm? What could make one of these quarters more valuable than a luxury car? Here's where things get exciting. While most 1999 New Jersey quarters are only worth face value, or maybe a bit more in uncirculated condition, there are a few incredibly rare exceptions. Some coins from this batch were struck with minting errors that are so unique, they've skyrocketed in value over the years. We're talking about double die obverse, off-center strikes, and die cracks that make these coins not just different, but one of a kind. These aren't just factory mistakes, they're collector gold. Combine one of those rare errors with a coin that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, and you've got something truly special on your hands. In fact, certain versions of the 1999 New Jersey quarter from the Denver Mint have become holy grails for collectors. These rare finds, once verified and graded by a professional service, are often placed in protective cases and never touched again, preserved like fine art. And now, let's talk about the number that might just change how you look at your change forever. One of these extremely rare New Jersey quarters, with a Denver Mint mark, a near-perfect condition grading, and a documented minting error, has recently been valued in the collector's market at an absolutely astonishing $80,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single quarter, worth $80,000. So, before you toss that change into a vending machine or leave it buried in your car's cup holder, take a second to look. Look closely. That little piece of metal in your hand might carry the weight of a nation's history, and an unexpected fortune. Specially, we're taking you on a journey, back to one of the earliest entries in the legendary state quarters collection. A coin so rooted in American heritage, so rich in symbolism, and in some cases, so rare, that it has quietly become one of the most sought-after quarters in the entire series. Today's focus? The Connecticut State Quarter, released in 1999 and minted in Philadelphia, marked with that all-important little P. At first glance, it's a simple 25-cent piece. One of millions. A coin you might have used in a parking meter, a soda machine, or tossed in your glove compartment years ago. But take a closer look, and you'll start to see something far more profound, something that connects directly to the roots of American independence. The Connecticut quarter stands out in the state quarters collection for its stunningly intricate design. On the reverse side, you'll see the charter oak, one of the most iconic trees in American history. Not just a symbol of nature, but a living emblem of freedom and defiance. According to legend, in 1687, when the British Crown attempted to seize Connecticut's royal charter and exert more control over the colony, patriots hid the document inside the hollow of this very tree, the charter oak, to protect the colony's autonomy. That tree, which once stood proudly in Hartford, became a symbol of resistance, liberty, and the deep roots of self-governance. The coin captures the intricate branches and the powerful silhouette of that legendary oak. Around it, the inscriptions, Connecticut, 1788, and the bold declaration, the charter oak. Beneath it all, the year of issue, 1999. And on the obverse? George Washington's profile, as with all quarters, steady and timeless. And just beneath, "In God We Trust," the tiny but vital P mint mark, showing it was minted in Philadelphia. Now, let's talk about why this particular coin, among the earliest state quarters released, has become a quiet legend in the world of coin collectors. When the 50 state quarters program kicked off in 1999, it was an instant success. People of all ages were searching their change, collecting each design, trying to complete their state sets. Connecticut was one of the 5 released in that very first year, making it not just historic, but nostalgic. Millions were minted, yes, but as always, not all coins are created equal. Some Connecticut quarters, especially those from the Philadelphia Mint, were struck with unusual minting errors. These rare versions include double dies, clipped planchets, and even off-center strikes that set them apart from the standard issue. A coin with one of these errors is already valuable, but when combined with another important factor, condition, its value skyrockets. Coins that have never been circulated, that maintain a flawless finish, sharp strike, and perfect edges are graded as mint state, and those with the highest grades, such as MS-68 or MS-69, are incredibly rare. Only a small number of Connecticut quarters exist in that top-tier condition. Now imagine this: a Connecticut 1999 quarter with the P mint mark, in pristine, untouched condition, and with a certified minting error. That, right there, is a coin collector's dream. These rare coins don't just sit in coin albums. They end up in private collections, auction houses, and high-security vaults. And once in a while, they break headlines when they're sold for unbelievable prices to passionate collectors or institutions preserving American history through currency. And now, the part you've been waiting for: a verified, rare 1999 Connecticut State Quarter, minted in Philadelphia, graded near perfect and carrying a mint error, has been valued at an extraordinary $100,000. Yes, you heard that right. $100,000. For a single quarter. So the next time you reach into your pocket for some change, or dump out that jar of coins you've been meaning to sort, take a closer look. Check the date. Look for that little P. Examine the detail. Because that plain-looking quarter you've overlooked for years might just be one of the rarest and most valuable pieces in American numismatic history. Last unique coin, we're diving into a coin that's not just collectible, it's surrounded by one of the most fascinating mysteries in the entire State Quarters program. Get ready to explore the story of the 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter, minted in Denver, and marked with that little D that could mean much more than most people realize. At first glance, the Wisconsin Quarter is simple, even charming. It celebrates the state's agricultural heritage with a design that's warm and down-to-earth. On the reverse side, you'll see a proud Holstein cow standing next to a wheel of cheese and an ear of corn. And right above it all is the state's motto, "Forward," a word that speaks to progress, pride, and perseverance. It's the kind of coin that looks right at home in any collection. But it's also the kind of coin that has caused a stir across the entire coin-collecting world. Because hidden within a small number of these Wisconsin quarters is something so unusual, so unexpected, that it sparked a numismatic mystery, and launched a nationwide treasure hunt. Let's rewind to 2004, when this coin was first released as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. Millions were made, with versions coming from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But it was the ones from Denver, those with the small D mint mark, that began turning heads for a very specific reason. Not long after the coins entered circulation, sharp-eyed collectors began to notice something odd. On some of the Wisconsin quarters, the ear of corn on the reverse side appeared different. Very different. In the standard design, the corn husk is smooth and clean. But on certain coins, collectors discovered an extra leaf, sometimes curling upward, and sometimes downward. These weren't just artistic variations. These were full-blown die varieties, created during the minting process itself. Now, what made this so intriguing is that the U.S. Mint never officially announced or acknowledged the difference. These extra leaf versions weren't supposed to exist. Were they accidental? Were they experimental dies? Or were they something more mysterious, perhaps a rogue mint worker's idea of a hidden signature? Whatever the origin, the hunt was on. Coin collectors across the country began scouring their change, hoping to find a Wisconsin quarter with what would soon be known as the extra leaf high and extra leaf low varieties. These coins became instant legends, with only a very small number known to exist. Even more rare were those in pristine, uncirculated condition, and the key detail. All of these mysterious error coins were discovered with the Denver D mint mark. That little d suddenly meant everything to collectors. The coin's agricultural theme now had an entirely new meaning, because this wasn't just a celebration of farming. It was the accidental harvest of one of the most valuable modern era coins in US history. So what makes these extra leaf coins so special? It's a combination of scarcity, condition, and intrigue. Most era coins are caught and removed long before they leave the mint. But these Wisconsin quarters slipped through the cracks, either unnoticed or unbothered by inspectors. And now, years later, they've become high-stakes items in the world of coin auctions. But here's the thing, the vast majority of people still have no idea these coins exist. Which means that every time a Wisconsin quarter passes through someone's hand, there's a chance they're holding something extremely rare, and they don't even know it. That's why coin collectors check their change every day. Because these aren't coins that live only in museums or safe deposit boxes. These are coins that were once sitting in cash registers, wallets, and piggy banks all across America, and now, for the part you've been waiting for. In recent years, one of these rare 2004 Wisconsin quarters, with the D mint mark, the extra leaf high error, and graded in nearly flawless condition, was valued at an astounding $60,000. That's right. $60,000. For a single quarter. So next time you get a handful of change at the grocery store or dig into that old jar of coins at home, take a closer look. Check the corn. Look for that little d. You never know when one tiny detail could turn your ordinary coin into something extraordinary. Thanks for joining us on today's Coin Discovery. If you love stories about rare coins, valuable finds, and the hidden history behind everyday money, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another surprising story from the world of numismatics. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your coins close, and remember, sometimes, fortune really is in the palm of your hand.